I've lived over 60 years, heard hundreds of pieces of advice, and read thousands of quotes. But one thing stayed with me more than anything else: Pythagoras' rule of silence. I first heard it when I was young, but it wasn't until I turned 65 that I truly understood its power. Have you ever regretted saying something you shouldn't have? Or wished you could go back in time and just stay silent? If so, this video might give you the peace you've been searching for, because some lessons only time can teach, and some silences hold a lifetime of wisdom. Today, I want to share 3 of the most powerful life lessons I've learned from this rule of silence. These are not just philosophical ideas, they're real-life experiences that only age and reflection can bring. If you've ever been hurt by words, whether yours or someone else's, please stay with me. This video may completely change how you look at silence. For many years, I believed honesty meant saying everything that came to mind. I used to speak my mind constantly, even when no one asked. I thought I was being genuine, but in reality, I was just talking too much. At 65, I realized not everything you know needs to be said. Not every moment needs words. Pythagoras once said, "Silence is the true friend that never betrays." I didn't truly understand this until I hurt someone I loved with words I thought were helpful. Have you ever said the right thing but at the wrong time? It can still do damage. I once commented on how my son was raising his kids. I thought I was being helpful, but the look in his eyes, it was as if I had questioned his entire worth as a father. That's when I understood. Advice that's not asked for often feels like judgment. Sometimes silence isn't indifference, it's respect. Respect for the space others need to grow, stumble, and learn for themselves. Maturity is not about speaking the truth. It's about knowing when to stay silent to protect a relationship. Silence at the right moment is the gift of the wise to those they love. An old man once told me, people don't get tired from doing too much, but from saying too much about nothing. I didn't believe him until I started feeling drained from endless conversations, meaningless gossip, and things that didn't matter. I began to realize every time you speak, you spend energy. When you're young, silence seems weak. But the older I get, the more I understand. Those who can stay silent are the ones gathering true strength. When you're silent, you hear more. When you don't interrupt, you see the truth in people. And when you don't react immediately, you stay in control of yourself. I used to argue, defend, and try to win every conversation. And what did it get me? Nothing but exhaustion and regret. Once I embraced silence, I started observing more. I understood people better. I found that I could keep my peace, even when chaos surrounded me. You don't need to speak to prove you're right. You don't need to react to show you're strong. You just need to stay silent. There's a kind of silence I used to fear, the silence of being alone. On those quiet nights, when the house felt too still, I used to turn on the TV just to fill the emptiness. But one day, I sat by my window, no TV, no phone, no one around. And in that deep silence, I finally heard something I hadn't in years, my own inner voice. I heard the dreams I once had, the sighs I had hidden. I understood the pain I had ignored, and I began to forgive myself. Silence was no longer loneliness. It became presence, the kind where I could sit with myself without fear or distraction. We spend our lives chasing the voices of others, but we rarely listen to our own. Silence is where that journey begins. Pythagoras wasn't just talking about staying quiet, he was pointing us toward awareness, the kind of silence that reconnects us with who we are deep inside. I'm not sharing all of this to make you think I'm wise. I've made many mistakes. I've spoken out of turn. I've hurt people with my words. I'm just saying, it's never too late to learn the power of silence. Silence isn't about giving up. It's not hiding. It's a brave choice, a gift you give yourself and those you love. If you're in your 60s, 70s or older, if you feel like you haven't done anything extraordinary, please remember, you don't need to make noise to live a meaningful life. Sometimes, one well-timed silence can save an entire relationship. When you understand the power of silence, you grow old with grace and wisdom. If this message speaks to you, if you've lived through similar lessons, I invite you to leave a comment below. I've learned to value silence. And if you want to keep going on this journey where we reflect, learn, and grow together with time, watch the next video, where I share why peace isn't about the absence of noise, but the presence of calm inside yourself even when the world is loud.